Hey there, it's Isaac from Powered by Rock here to bring Lee from Monkey Mind into the spotlight for a few minutes and make him sweat with some on-the-spot questions. Welcome, Lee. Are you ready to be put in the spotlight?
Yep.
All right. So the first one I have is, if you were to have any other career that you could, as a dream career other than playing music, what would you choose to do?
I'm actually doing it. I'm a tattoo artist. That's my love.
Nice. Nice. So you achieve both things simultaneously.
I try to balance them side by side. It's my art, and they're both an art form which I love to do. So I'm a happy man.
Yeah. Do you, as an artist, are you the one that kind of does the graphics for the band then too?
Yeah, I designed the little monkey and things like that.
Nice. Very cool. All right. So what was the first song you learned to play on guitar?
I would say Alternative Ulster, Stiff Little Fingers.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned that in the regular interview. That was the first kind of thing that got you into guitar, was Stiff Little Fingers and punk bands from the UK and stuff.
I specifically remember finding the opening chord. I had never been able to figure a chord out up until then. And then I stumbled across the intro, which was like a D. I couldn't believe it. I remember actually shouting at my mother to come and listen. And I just done this one thing that sounded like Stiff Little Fingers intro. I couldn't believe it. And that was like a real moment for me. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, D is
from there, I think like I'll start to learn all the, the usual punk bands from the 70s stuff. And then probably got into Rancid and the Descendants, the Dickies, more melodic punk, Green Day, things like that. And that was for me. I thought, right, this is it. Love this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how your band is now. So that makes a lot of sense. Kind of that evolution from, you have to play the early stuff to get into the melodic stuff and actually understand it though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool. All right. So this one's a very English question. And I don't know if you eat meat or if you eat these types of foods, but what classic English dish is your favorite between a shepherd's pie or a beef Wellington? Or do you have a different favorite dish of English origin?
I used to love my mother's shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
I've never had one for many years, but it's beautiful, especially when it's made by my mother.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of people say, oh yeah, English food doesn't have much flavor. I'm like, have you ever had a shepherd's pie or a beef Wellington? Because they're delicious.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Shepherd's pie, I think, wins that one for me.
Awesome.
Home cooked.
And then on a side note, like a split question here, how much do you love mushy peas?
Oh, I hate mushy peas.
Good.
I hate them. I'm very I like garden peas, like the little hard ones.
Yeah.
I
never got mushy peas. I just can't figure out why it's such a popular thing. I'm like, these are disgusting.
It's slop. It's just, it looks like sick.
All right. And then what's your favorite punk album of all time?
Oh, that's difficult.
Yeah.
Punk album of all time.
They're hot seat questions, Lee. You're supposed to think.
Right. Okay. Well, the one that had the biggest impact, it's got to be Dookie for me.
Yeah. So Dookie, Green Day, the most influential probably punk album of all time for many, many bands, musicians, fans. Obviously, it kickstarted the entire pop punk genre in '94 and through the rest of the '90s. So
I think it's because it's so iconic. It's that it was the turning point between raw punk sound to very polished. I didn't know you could do that with a punk band. I didn't think it was possible to sound that clean and nice. And it was a game changer.
Yeah, and I mean, all the albums that came after it, like all the Fat Records stuff, a lot of these other bands that came out, Epitaph, they all then suddenly got the production to go in the studio and make really good sounding albums, whereas before it was like they're recording in their friend's garage or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, I bought everything. I bought all the Fat Records, everything that came out. I couldn't get enough of it. It was fantastic.
Awesome.
And it's still to this day, love it.
Yep. So you're from Newcastle. It's like the hometown place of Newcastle beer as well, but is that your favorite beer, or what's your favorite beer to drink and why?
They used to call that Madman's Broth, because it had, I think it was mercury or something, and it used to send people wild. Everybody would fight when they were drinking that all night. Crazy. I don't drink it. My dad used to drink a lot of it.
He was fighting everybody.
I was fighting everybody, fight the whole street. Crazy times. We'll not go into that. But I don't really like it. But I know it's huge in California because when I was over there, every pub I went into, they had mirrors behind the bar with Newcastle Brown, and they had it on tap, which you don't get it on tap here, you know.
That's interesting.
It's mainly in the bottle. Apparently, that's the way it's supposed to be served. But there's a few pubs that do it now on tap, but not many. No, I like light beers. I'm quite weak when it comes to beers these days. I like American beers. I like Coors. I like Bud Light. I know it's pussy beer to you, but
I was going to say, this is a man after my own heart. I drink Bud Light like it's water over here. So yeah,
it's nice, crisp taste.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people are like, oh, you have to have an IPA or something. I'm like, yeah, I'll drink an IPA once, like whatever. But if I want to drink on a night out, I'm going to drink Bud Light all night.
Yeah, because it can last better. And when you're a little guy like me, you know, it doesn't take much to get drunk and falling over. And yeah, that's not what you cannot last. If you want to last with, everybody's double my height, so I cannot keep up with those guys. They're just too big.
Yeah.
So I drink the weak stuff. But I'm drinking some IPA at the moment. I think this is a local craft beer.
Nice.
Just take the edge off my nerves here.
Yeah. You should have seen how many of these you had before we started. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you wouldn't understand the word I say. I'm trying to slow down and talk proper at the moment. If I had too many of them, you wouldn't understand any Jordan. Believe me.
I have plenty of British friends, and some of them speak Cockney and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what you said, but I kind of get the gist, and you sound very stupid right now.
You want to try the Scottish? You want to hear them?
Yeah.
Glaswegians. Even I can't understand what they're saying. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. Well, awesome, Lee. I want to thank you for spending the time with us and stepping in the spotlight and answering these hot seat questions. Guys, make sure to go to the show notes below. Check out the music. Check out the album. Check out the music videos. And we'll see you guys on the next one. And take care for now. Rock on.